Hey everybody, it's Jen from Jen Plans, and I have the entire new Erin Condren Teacher Lesson Planner collection to share with you, and I'm really excited because this is what they've always had. This is the 8.5 by 11 coil-bound teacher lesson planner, but this year they have also released two new options, which are really exciting. So I'm going to get into those too, and then a couple of new accessories. This, of course, is not new, but they have some new little mini snap-in bookmarks. There's one already in here, so I'll show you the set of those, and then a new sticker book, and then there are some other sticky notes that I've already put in here as well. So I wanted to share all of these with you. Thank you to Team EC for sending me these products to preview before the launch. They launch early next week, April 13th for EC Insiders and the 14th for everybody else. I'm going to walk you through the layout and the inside of each of them. I'll start with the coil bound since that is what people are most familiar with. Just like other years, you'll be able to choose your coil color. This is the gold. They also have rose gold and platinum. I can't remember if they've done the black coil in the teacher lesson planner. You can tell I put one of the mini bookmarks in here, and then of course the regular bookmark is up top. The layout is very similar to last year. So I am not a teacher, but I do have 3 kids who are in elementary school, and I use, normally when we're not like home teaching under isolation orders, I use this as a room rep. I'm a room rep for 2 of my kids' classrooms, and then I'm also a part of the PTO. I'm the Teacher Appreciation Chair. So normally I would use this to keep track of school-related things for my volunteer positions, but of course with everybody home, I've been using it to manage my kids' learning. So it's been really useful. Even if you're not a teacher, this is still a really cool book that you can kind of tweak to make work for things that you're doing that are maybe not teaching related. So the inside is just like all the other EC covers. Wet erase markers work great here. I wouldn't use dry erase because it'll smudge a little bit, but wet erase are great. And then of course you have your opening little title page. The left side is the All About Me section where you can put all of your contact information and then any resources you need. I use this for my kids with their learning, like the websites that we use to supplement what they're doing in their classroom. And then events and volunteers. Obviously, if you have, like if you're a teacher and you have a room rep or speaker or tutors that you recommend to students, you could keep all of that information here. And then classroom events. Of course, it's going to vary depending on what level you teach. My brain is thinking elementary, so I think like as a room rep, I put my classroom volunteers here for the people that want to help with parties or field trips or send items in for when we do special events in the classroom. And so that's what I use this spread for in mine. And then the next page is a communication log. This could be for communication with students / guardians, but this would also be really great for like if you're sending out a newsletter or any kind of regular communication to your families that you want to keep track of or maybe plan ahead of time. Like, okay, I know that the winter party is going to be on this date, so I need to send the email asking for donations of party items on this date, just to kind of plan those things out ahead of time. I find that to be really helpful for this spread. This is one of my favorite spreads in any planner ever. The kind of the year at a glance with all these little dates. And I use the little transparent dots from Krissyanne Designs, which I linked in the description of this video. And they're just clear little dots you can put over the dates. And I use these to mark, I put like a key at the top. I use these to mark like no school days, beginning and end of each term. I think I also use them they used to use them for early dismissal, but now my kids are in elementary school. They don't really do early dismissal at the school they're in now. But I used to use for early dismissal. I think now I put in like special events, like if I know it's a class party or something that I want to be in the school for, or some recognition ceremony, I put those in here as well. The year plan is next. So obviously if you're a teacher, you could use this to plan out units or standards or topics or whatnot. I, again, use this for events that we're doing either school-wide or in my kids' classrooms, but it's so nice to see it all in one place when I'm kind of looking at the year. And for planning teacher appreciation events, we do monthly activities for our teachers and staff. So I like to kind of see like, okay, if I did one, late March, I don't want to do it early April, I need to do it late April. So everything can kind of be mapped out here and I can see it all in one spot. There are 2 graph layouts. It says log it, graph it, map it, group it, track it. Oh wait, oops, I skipped one. If you're a teacher, I suppose you could use this for a seating chart or achievement charts or any other creative uses that teachers would need them for. Again, I'm not a teacher, so I'm sure there are a million ideas that I just don't know about because I'm not a teacher, but this is nice flexible space if you need to keep track of things that require a grid. And then you get one spread of lined pages. Now, like I said, I'm not a teacher, so I'm not graphing seating charts or doing learning assessments, but I like using these in the beginning of the year when we're doing our planning meetings, or if I have to go, like every year in the beginning of the year, the PTO does the room rep meeting. So you learn about like all the stuff that we're gonna be doing in the classroom, for the year. So these are the places that I take notes that I can refer back to, that I don't want really in a specific month. And then this is the standard layout before every single monthly spread. You have a full notes page plus about 2/3 and then important dates to remember. And again, I'm using this outside of a classroom setting, so I keep track of all of our activities here. And then if I know we're doing a specific event, so for example, I'll switch to, not that it really matters because any month would work, but I'll switch to November. So every November, I don't know if it's every November, this past year, one of the teacher appreciation events we did that was in November was a pie table. And so I used this space to map out okay, who are we asking to donate pies? It was I think we did 4th and 5th grade families to donate pies. And so I had a checklist of things we needed. I had a list for supplies, okay, we need tablecloths, we need signage, we need forks and plates. And so all of those things went here, all of the dates of things that we were doing, not just when the event was, but this is the date that I need to have, families send in the paperware for. So even if you're not in a classroom, if you're helping in any capacity at a school, it's so nice to have these spaces. So you get a notes spread like this before every single month. So I'll flip back to the beginning of the school year. And then you go right into the monthly layout. And so just like all the other EC planners, you have, this is pretty standard monthly layout, except I always love in EC planners, there is a notes sidebar. And then there's plenty of room up here. If you want to be flexible with your space and add other things, you can at the top. So I also love the addition of the little mini calendar for the next month at the bottom of the monthly layout. And then it jumps right into the week. This is the same layout as the current 2019-2020 teacher planner. Days are horizontal: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The colors are different here to separate months. So this is the end of June, this is the beginning of July. And then you could use these for different subjects. You could use them for different periods. I use them for different kids. So I put my daughter here and my older son here, my younger son here for our home. I quote homeschool. It's not really homeschooling because I'm not coming up with the content, the teachers are, but kind of my implementation of home learning goes in here. I'll link the video showing how I do that in my current teacher lesson planner. It has everything filled in if you want to watch that, but this is the layout that I use. And then here you can put any extras that you're doing, or depending on how many kids you have, if you have more than 3 kids, I only have 3. So I use these 3 for my kids and then these 3 for extra subjects. And then of course a notes sidebar. And so you just get all of these weekly pages through the end of the month. And then when you get to the end of the month, you have another set of notes pages, either to prep for the following month or to recap the previous month. Again, so helpful to have all these notes pages. And then you jump into the month, and then it's just kind of on repeat all the way through the end of the year. I'll come back to the sticky notes in a minute. So we get to the end of June, you have all your weekly pages. You get one kind of post-planning June page, and then a notes page that leads into the checklist pages. 14 of these spreads in the back. And this is not perforated, but you can fold or cut. If you only want to write names once and not rewrite them every time, you can either cut or fold this part right off. Folding is great if you want to keep these boxes, because of course if you cut it, you'll be cutting off the last few. As a room rep, I use these to keep track of, I put all the students for one class, and then all the students for another class. And I think I started doing this so I'm also a co-leader for Girl Scout troop for my daughter. So I do the girls' names there, and I can keep track of who sent in, who volunteered, whose family volunteered to help with, the winter party, or who all sent in gifts for the teachers and who sent me money so that I can buy a gift card, because we kind of split it up that way. Sometimes we do a big class gift, and sometimes people want to do individual gifts. And so these are all the things that I keep track of in the student checklist section, but there are a ton of these pages. And then of course you get to the back where the stickers are. So there are 4 pages of stickers. This one is pretty similar to last year. This one is also pretty similar to last year. I love these because they're nice and big because the planner's bigger. I really love this one. I love using these. I use these in my planner all the time, these longer strips. And then these were like also some of my favorites from last year. The little, I don't know if you can see the little paper clips that are foiled on there. They're really cute. And then I'm super excited about these because sometimes these event stickers have asterisks on them, but these are just blank. I love writing the times here and then the activity there. And sometimes I steal these out of the teacher lesson planner and put them in my regular life planner. And those are all the sticker pages. You get a coiled in folder. This is great for any other handouts. I keep like our master teacher list and our school calendar and like meeting handouts here, double-sided. And then there are 2 sleeves, these plastic sleeves that you can either use for paper, like if you need to keep notes in here, or you can slip stuff in here and then use a wet erase marker right on top of these, and then swipe it when you don't need it anymore. And then inside are little date stickers. So EC has kind of left it up to each individual person which dates they want to put in the calendar, but you can still put them in. They still printed all of them. They're just on individual sticker sheets now. So those are all the extra stickers. And then the back is like all the other EC covers. You can use a wet erase marker back here if you want to take notes, and then it just folds right up. So this is the coiled book. I'm so excited. I have not decided which one I'm going to be using next year because the other ones are really cute as well and have some great features. So this is the spiral. I'll come back and show you those sticky notes in a moment. All right, the binder. I've been watching people's comments and I can't tell what people are most excited about. Everyone really loves the standard classic coil, but the binder opens up so many new options. And then of course the, you can't see it right now, but the focused teacher planner, which I'll show you next, is also really beautiful and streamlined and simple and minimalistic. So it's gonna be hard to choose. The binder is a standard 3-ring. Actually, I've not measured. Okay, so it looks like it's a 2-inch binder. Great, this is a 2-inch binder. And the cover feels like smooth. If you guys remember, I don't know if you remember the old hardbound journals. They had this like, almost feels like a smooth rubbery finish. It's like really, really soft and smooth. So it's that same feel on the front of the binder. And the inside is 3-ring standard coil. The paper does not come in the teacher lesson planner. I put this in just to kind of showcase how it is a standard 3-ring binder. This is just regular wide ruled filler paper. And I love that they chose a standard 3-ring binder because as a teacher, especially, you're able to just hole punch and put extra things in the binder, and there's plenty of room. There are not closures on here. You have to pull the rings open. I obviously haven't spent the whole year using this, so I got some questions about how the rings hold up. I can't speak to that because I haven't been using it. I'll take these out. But I have opened and closed them several times. They all meet really nicely. There's no, they're lined up and they feel pretty sturdy to me. I also don't have the life planner, life planner binder. I did not get one of those. I'm a coil life planner person. I probably should have gotten one just to kind of explore it. But I did see some questions about how the rings compare. So like I said, I don't really have anything to compare it to, but these look really good to me. They feel sturdy, they open and close nicely. And then in terms of turning, as long as you're not like, I can't turn the whole book at one time, which I don't think you could do in regular binder anyway. But if you're just turning like a chunk, like, going from here's, August to January, they turn pretty nicely. They don't get caught. You just have to, you just can't turn the whole thing all at one time. Just like a regular binder. And I think it's less because of the rings and more because of the holes. I don't know if you can tell, the hole punch is just a hair smaller on the pages in the binder than a regular filler paper hole punch. The guts are the same exact guts as the coil planner, so I won't take you through all of them. The only difference that I found, I don't know if this is because I got a preview copy or if it's how it normally is, But in the back of this planner, there are 7 student checklist spreads instead of the 14 that I counted in my Coil-bound planner. But check the specifications on the website, because sometimes the preview prototypes that they send out get tweaked after we get them. So I'm not sure if that's really a difference or if it's just the difference that I got, but there are I think 7 of these checklist pages in the binder, and then there are no stickers in the back. There is a folder in the back, and of course, you know, being a hole punched book, you can add as many other folders as you want in the back. And they do have these 2 plastic sleeves as well. I know a huge appeal of a ring binder is that you can take the pages out to plan. It is so nice to be able to go 1 page at a time. And with a book like this, especially for teachers, you know, you might not be doing this quite as much in a regular planner, like a day planner, but especially for a teacher, you know, who might have a gazillion handouts, you can bind in your lesson plans or your handouts or things that you need for your class, or if you have a sub, your sub reports can all go in the binder. So this is the binder. Like I said, same guts as the Coil-bound in this beautiful binder. These are circle rings, not D-rings. So when you go to close it, you will have to kind of wiggle the insides a little bit so it doesn't get jammed up in the back. But that's very easy. And you have plenty of room to put other paper in. So in terms of thickness, this is the binder up against the coiled book. So you can tell guts are the same. Rings are just a little bit bigger than the coil. Overall, the binder is bigger, but probably easier to slip in and out of a bag than a coil, because sometimes a coil can get stuck on things, which I know can be solved with the folios that you can put them in and kind of keep all your supplies in one place. But if you're looking for something to just kind of throw in and out of a bag and not have it get caught on anything, and you like to be able to put other things in or take pages out to plan, the binder is a great option. So I'm really, really, really excited about this addition to the teacher planner line. Last but not least is this really beautiful soft bound, so very, very flexible, focused line teacher planner. There's an embossing on the bottom. You can have your initials put in. Mine just says Jen. And in terms of thickness, it's just a little more than 3/4 of an inch. This, by the way, is the Erin Condren acrylic ruler. I use this all the time. I love having this. My kids use it all the time. I'll try and link this if it's still on the site, but it's really nice and fun. So this is the softbound. There are 2 ribbon bookmarks. Since you can't, you know, clip a bookmark into a coil, I love that they added those. The beginning is just a really nice lined opening inside cover. And then the general idea of all of these pages is the same as the other planners. It just has a different aesthetic. It's just a little bit more clean and simple. You still have an All About Me page with classroom resources, websites, and passwords. And then, of course, you still have the volunteer contact information and events and date information. Still have a communication log. You still have your year at a glance. And then, of course, this kind of annual overview. There are still 2 pages of graph paper. And then you go right into July, and then of course the monthly layout. And so all of this is very understated and simple. If you do not care for like all of the color everywhere, this is such a great option. I'm so excited that they released this. I didn't know this was coming. There had been talk about expanding this line a little bit, but I was so surprised and excited to see them go into the focused collection with a teacher lesson planner. This is the weekly layout. Again, really super simple. Still has 6 sections across the top. The days are still horizontal. And then you still have the sidebar over here for notes or lists. And then of course, all the days run through the month, and you get to the end of the month and you have another notes page leading into the month after. So it looks like maybe one less full notes page than the other planners, but this continues all the way through the end of the year until you get to some notes pages in the back. So 5 of these spreads in the back, which is great because it kind of makes up for not having the notes pages in between months. Not exactly, but it's nice to have notes pages back here for meetings or whatever. And you get 7 checklist pages, and that's the end of the book. So obviously, since there is no binding system, you don't get the plastic sleeves or the folder. You could do a sticky pocket. Erin Condren makes sticky pockets for their planners. You can stick one of those in the back or really in the front or both, and use those to keep notes. But this is a smaller book, so it's not like you're not going to be able to fit a standard piece of paper. This is 10, this is 8 by 10. So we've got an 8 by 10 softbound. So it's going to be a little bit smaller than the other books. And then of course, no stickers in the back. But if you're using, I don't know in this community. I was gonna say if you're using a focused planner, you probably aren't using a bunch of stickers, but you never know in this community. Some people like to take something that's very neutral and then plan it their way so that they get the choice of colors and decoration. So I'm curious to see what people do with this particular version. So this is the focused teacher planner. In terms of size comparison, like I said, it's 8 by 10. If you hold it up like this, you can tell it's definitely thinner. This is going to be the easiest one to pull in and out of a bag for sure. And it's shorter and of course not quite as wide as the big one. And then this is all 3 together. I love seeing them compared just so that you can tell kind of the size difference. So these are all of the books, and then there are some new accessories. Like I said, the markers are not new. This is my favorite set. It has, you know, they do the different kind of color themes, like they have the blues and the greens and the warmer colors. But this one is kind of their full multi-pack, and these are dual tips. You have the broad tip up here and then the fine tip down here. My kids each have a set of these. They love using these in their notebooks and their journals. My daughter loves to color with them. So it's a great variety set, but these are all the colors that are in this multi-pack. And so if you're a colorful marker person, I love that they're dual-sided. And then there is also a sticker book. I'm really excited about sticker books every year. Behind the actual planner releases, I get most excited to see the sticker books. This one has a page of quotes and then some functional stickers. I love the little thumbtacks. More functional stickers. This is my favorite one, the globes. I was so excited when I opened this page and saw the globes. And I really love these too. These are nice, thick, functional stickers, but these are just the cutest little globes. I love those. More functional. I love these. I use these in my life planner. Little dots. You can tell they have like a metallic border. Quotes and other smaller strips if you need to break up days or sections. This is great too in like notes sections. I like to break up my notes sections in a planner as well. These are clear, these are like on a clear background, more plasticky than paper. Same with these. And then back to the paper with a couple of like don't forget and break and no school. And that is the end of the sticker book. This is also the size that fits in the sticker storage. So I'm really excited about this book. I always buy this anyway, regardless of whether I'm using the teacher lesson planner because I have school-age kids. And so all of these things all still apply if you're a parent of a school-aged kid. I love using these in my planner. It's nice to have a kind of school-focused sticker book. The last 2 things are the set of bookmarks. These are mini snap-in bookmarks, different from the big ones that come with the planners that you can snap in, they stick up a little bit on the top. These also stick up a little bit on top, but I love that you can just kind of clip these in and out if you need to mark different places. So I usually keep like one in the note, one in the year at a glance, one in the note section, one in the monthly, and then one, usually a big one, marking which week I'm in. I love using these little guys in all of my planners. And then, so it comes in the trio, and they've had these trios before. You can get them in different patterns. This is the retro. And then this snap-in sticky note set, you can tell these are all little sticky notes, and they're, I don't know, I would say probably about 1/3 sticky. And they snap right into the coil. And I always like to see how they look in a book. So I put them in here so that you can see, just size reference, how they all fit. Really love these. I don't know, I love all of them. This is such a fun pattern. So these are all the sticky notes from this new set. Again, this one is not, like they've had other ones in the past that are school related. This one is not school related. Like you could easily use this in any other planner, but it does fit really well with the design of the teacher lesson planner, at least for this one. Now, I also heard that there is a whole other option of a kaleidoscope interior. So this is the retro with all the lines. The front cover is the retro pattern. I heard that they're also doing this in the kaleidoscope pattern, but I have not seen that yet. So I'll see if I can find somebody else that maybe got that one and link it if I'm able to. But for now, this is kind of the last of the accessories, and that's everything. So I would love to hear what you think, especially if you're a teacher, because like I said, I just don't have that teacher perspective. I have, you know, just the mom perspective, but I love taking things that are meant for one thing and using them for something else. So I would love, love, love to see what you think. Or if you're not a teacher, how you'll be using this. Maybe you might use it in a way that's different from how I use it. And I always love kind of hearing those as well. So thank you so much for watching. And I can't wait to see what everybody gets. I'll see you next time.